A couple of years ago, we had a great opportunity to head out to Portage Central, where they were honoring one of their own. A freshman was brought up to play on the varsity squad because she was in the middle of a life-struggling battle. It was against the disease DIPG. Sophie Varney had a great attitude, and she is a great player. Tragically, she lost her battle, and she lost her fight, but she is not forgotten, as we learned last weekend. There's a saying in softball, sometimes the only thing fair in life is a ball hit between first and third. On a blustery Saturday, May 1st, 2021, the Portage Central community came together for the second annual Sophie Strong game. We had a chance to cover the first Sophie Strong game back in 2019. The Mustangs surprising freshman Sophie Varney, who was just brought up to the varsity. You wouldn't know it by meeting her, but Sophie was beginning the fight of her life. Diagnosed with the disease diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma, or DIPG. It's a brain tumor, and it takes no prisoners. Sophie got to play in the game named in her honor, did quite well too. In fact, flash forward this season, she was going to be a key piece of the Portage Central squad as she began her junior campaign. But Sophie lost her battle and succumbed to the disease in December. Sophie loved softball.
She literally fell in love with the game when she was probably 4 years old. She would cry if practice was canceled. She'd have her cleats laced up, an hour before we had to leave. So I think for her to be able to play after diagnosis and get in another full season, her last weekend, which we didn't know it would be her last travel weekend, but her last weekend playing at full speed prior to COVID then, she batted 600 for the weekend.
Sophie was such a huge part of our family. She is, to us at Portage Central Softball, Sophie is the reason we continue to play. She's our reason to keep winning. She's a role model to everybody. Everybody should want to be like her. Everybody should want to act like her. Sophie was amazing, and she will continue to be a huge legacy here at Portage Central.
Her spirit lives on. The new batting cages sport a shiny new plaque in front for all to see, a tribute to Sophie and the impact she had on the team she loved and that loved her so much. Money raised for the memorial and the charity dedicating to eradicating DIPG, the Chad Tuff Foundation.
The other sports programs here, our PC softball program, her travel team, her friends, her family, everybody stepped up and donated towards the plaque, and we said anything that we were going to go over, we would donate to the Chad Tuff Foundation, and we about doubled what we had intended to raise.
I think Portage Central and Lisa Kino have done a lot to embody her spirit in this team, and there's a lot of her hovering around, like the 17 at the backstop and the memorial out front, and the kids put 17 in the dirt sometimes before they bat, and even on her worst days, she was happy to be on the field.
The Varney family is steadfast in doing whatever they can to help support the foundation in honor of their daughter, who will live on in the hearts of every life she touched. An annual Sophie Strong Memorial Fund scholarship is being created at Portage Central, and there are numerous other ways that Sophie will continue to impact others.
When I look at the future and realize my daughter isn't in it in a physical sense, that there will be some real nice rituals to keep her legacy alive and to keep talking about her. Sometimes when these tragic things happen, I've had friends that have lost children and nobody talks about them anymore because they don't want to think they're going to upset you or whatever. That's not how I have viewed this. I want to keep talking about it and keep creating these legacy projects where we can kind of keep talking about Sophie Strong and what that meant.
So she would be really thrilled with all the funds and donations and things that we did to raise money for that. That was something she was most passionate about, and she would have just been really happy that we were raising awareness.
And come back next year, because this event will live on.
Every year, this is the plan. Unfortunately, we had it planned for last year, so this is it. We'll have one every year, and we're going to continue to raise money in her name. The Chad Tuff Foundation was something very dear to her. She really, really, really wanted a cure. She doesn't want this to happen to any other family. The irony is that her and her mom, their birthday is actually National DIPG Awareness Day. this is something that we're going to continue to do and carry on her legacy and carry on her fight. And we're going to pick up where she left off and continue to raise that money and awareness for her as much as we can.
When times were tough for me, personally, emotionally, dealing with everything as well, I just always tell myself, just follow Sophie's lead, and I think we'll just keep doing that. So.
If you would like to give to the Sophie Strong Memorial Fund, visit the Kalamazoo Community Foundation website at connect.calfound.org/give now and search Sophie Strong. I'm Lauren Plant for State Champs.